We are live. How's it going, Nakama? The DarkBriton is back with a stream. I know. We don't have a chapter today, but it is something very special because Sagrain has seen 2 episodes of the One Piece live action, and we're going to talk about all of it, spoiling it for him, unfortunately, but he's taking one for the team. Also, his punishment since he's had a week to watch it all. Sagrain, how's it going, brother?
Yeah, all good. I'm liking the first 2 episodes I've seen, so I have hopes about it. So I'm hoping the hopes I have is what you're gonna give me here.
That is fair.
Because yeah, I'm taking a lot for the team.
Well, again, you had enough time. Granted, you are starting school, you are getting your education. Education's great, everyone, but One Piece is better, so that's on you.
Yeah.
Now, I feel it would be amiss if I did not have the ability to play different videos. So, Sagrain, for you, you'll have to check out the stream. Haha, tricks you into logging in. But at the same time, this is if I need to play a video, which I'm not really sure, we'll see. But for the most part, the One Piece fandom, thank you to all of my fellow weebs for updating this, is the overview for the live action and has everything broken down between short summary and long summary. So for the short summary, what is this? Something just popped up and it says, I don't know if I can take it down. What's the watch together joint activity you got up?
Oh no. Oh yeah, that's me, my bad. Let me close it down.
Sorry, I was just like, wait, what was this?
Yeah, that was me.
You're good.
I was watching the stream on live.
Oh, you tried opening on Discord, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're good. So, in this context, what we are going to do is take it bit by bit, episode by episode, and I have the lovely live action stream breakdown, or live action breakdown up on the stream for everyone to be able to view, as well as jam out to our lovely One Piece music going on there. So, in this context, we have the first episode, which is called Romance Dawn. Beautifully put. I don't think there was anything too wrong with it. This is one of the few that you've seen. From the short summary, Monkey D. Luffy, an optimistic young pirate with dreams of finding the One Piece, sets off in search of a loyal crew he needs to navigate the vast oceans. His journey begins when he helps Kobe, a deckhand forced into servitude, escape an undesirable situation. While in Shellstown, Luffy meets Zoro. Zoro, no Zolo here, a famed pirate hunter, and Nami, a master thief. And the three form a tenuous alliance. Now, in this context, it does open with Roger and Logetown years ago. Did you see the waifu that people are saying was Crocodile?
The waifu?
So in the crowd, you see Shanks, you see Mihawk, you see Smoker actually, and you see Dragon, but you also see a mysterious woman, and it's just like, is this Crocodile? And I'm just like, there is no way they are making Crocomom an actual thing. Like, I'm kind of in disbelief. So you'll have to watch this back. But there's a theory going on that in the crowd of when everyone's looking on, and there's a lot of people, men and women. There's one that there's a woman focused on, and everyone's like, who the heck is that? And we know Crocodile was there, or they made Moria female, maybe. Actually, that could possibly be it too.
That is interesting because I saw Shanks, I saw Mihawk, I didn't notice Dragon, and Crocodile and Smoker.
Smoker looked weird. Yeah, it was just like a kid with like really poofy poofy white hair. And it was like...
I was even thinking, because the character I was even thinking of that they didn't show, I was like, okay, maybe they just cut him off, was Dofi. I was like, oh, they didn't show Dofi.
Didn't
I was
show
like,
Dofi
okay, maybe
either,
they just cut it off.
So that's a good call. They did not show Dofi either. So in that context, we have at least the faces of Shanks, Mihawk, and Smoker, the back of a green cloak, which is Dragon, and then a mysterious woman who everyone is just like, crocodile?
Mom.
So that's really cool. And this also leads into one of what I believe is better than the official Oda panel reveals, and that's how the One Piece live action does the wanted posters of the individual in front of them. And you've at least seen it done twice now, where like Gold Roger and then his like wanted poster come up, and then he'll like engage and like knock it away or push it. He pushed it away. So there's every time we see someone in this live action, there is their bounty poster comes up, wanted poster, what have you, and they like Arlong shreds his, like Kuro slices his, like Buggy snatches his away. Like it's like really, really cool. And I would say better than the Oda boxes for their reveals.
Yeah, I like that that little animation that they put with the transition with the bounty poster, and then they will just hit it down.
That was really cool. So in that, we had the beginning of the Great Pirate Era. We had the dude in the back was like, "Where's your treasure?" And everyone's like, "That's a really good question. Why didn't I ask that?" And then he got shot by Garp on the pedestal. That was actually really good. I very much enjoyed seeing Garp up there. It parallels Marineford amazingly. Like, it parallels Marineford brilliantly, having Garp up there with Gold Roger.
So they replaced Sengoku with Garp.
I don't know who was up on the stage when Gold Roger was just executed.
I think it was Sengoku. Let's check the anime, this thing, or the manga. I think it was Sengoku.
Let's take a quick, because I can try and look up one of the images, but I may have just... Okay, we're good. Whew. Scared me for a second. Yeah, I don't think anyone was on that stage other than the people who stabbed him, bro.
I think there was a higher up there. I can't remember, but I think it should be Sengoku that was up there during the execution.
I don't know,
because there was someone making I think the announcement about his execution, just like Garp did.
I don't see anything. So, if anyone watching the stream can run it back and let us know. But sorry, Segrain, to what you're saying is literally the platform is just big enough for, and you'll see it when it comes up on the screen. It's just really those two dudes. It's really just the two bros who stab him.
Okay.
That's what it really looks like as far as individuals on the platform with them, which is pretty nuts. Pretty nuts indeed. So in that context, we have Garp.
Oh yeah, so
go ahead.
Here, from what I can see on the stream, the two dudes are in front of him. This was after stabbing him.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, after scrolling through everything, I can't find anything of like someone on the stage with him, someone else on the stage. If you can, definitely let me know. But I haven't been able to find it yet.
Okay.
Which is pretty crazy.
I'm seeing it like on your screen right now. It is two dudes in front. Okay. Probably there was no one, but I thought I saw like Sengoku there. Maybe I'm just like my mind is just filling up.
Well, again, that's why I'm saying it parallels the anime, at least with Ace on the scaffolding. Again, with Sengoku. Like, so that's what I mean. So it's gonna parallel the final stuff really, really well. I'm very, very excited for. It seems like it's gonna continue on. So I feel like that it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
Now, as we jump into it, Luffy makes the first offer to be a Straw Hat and is told no. The News Coup, unfortunately, gave up its right at being the first Straw Hat. Very sad. L's for the News Coup. Or is it Sad Horn for the News Coup?
A big L for
the News Coup. But in that respects, where else can we go? It's one of those where Luffy is kind of just like left adrift. I guess he springs the leak, gets picked up. Alvida seems like they're making this one world one seem lived in. Two does not seem as like cartoonish. Someone gets hit, it's pretty gruesome. Like Alvida's a monster, like absolute monster. Destroying Kraken skulls.
They're trying. They're trying to not censor it as much. Right?
They're trying to say what more?
Not censor it as much.
Yeah. Well, again, they're also like sharpening it down in many different ways and not making it so heavy, which gets to my overall thoughts when we get to that episode. But scooting it along a little bit more, we see Luffy get picked up by the pirates, of course, in the barrel. Him being able to meet Kobe, them having and sharing their nice little background. And then we get, oh, hey, pups. One of the pups just came in. Hey, buddy.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. Let's see here. He looked up to Shanks, so we... we start to get Luffy's background 10 years prior in the Windmill Village. Gets to meet Shanks. Shocks Kobe that he wants to go to the Grand Line. Luffy tells him about rations for him. The fact... There's two moments, and I love Luffy, but he drives me absolutely up a wall. There's two moments in this where I'm just like, he's driving me nuts. That's Luffy right there. That is... He's getting Luffy down. And one was when he comes up with a frickin' oar and then just rings the bell as everyone's like knocked out. And it's just like...
Yeah.
Bro.
That is definitely Luffy.
No, I was just like, that is so him that it's so frustrating. Like, Luffy has been frustrating me since 2005. That is just picturesque him. As we move forward, that takes us into our new areas, which is Luffy's little one-hit KO of Alvida on the ship. She tries hitting him. He's able to knock her off, and then I think they blew up the ship somehow. I'm not sure how that worked out.
Yeah, the ship blew up later in the background.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, I'm not sure how that worked out, or I can't remember, at least. A lot happened. 8 episodes, and that's another thing. I wish it had been 10. And as we get into these later parts, there's 3 things that really didn't feel earned when it happened, to where I was just like, I don't know about this. And I wish they would give more time to it so it did feel earned. So, let's see. This takes us
So
in. Go ahead.
what I noticed, like they try to do, is that there are some episodes that they broke up and then they tried to fit them in between prior episodes. So, for example, the episode with the Shanks flashback, I think that was an entire episode, right? But then they broke it down and they put it in between, like the other scenes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think that one makes a bit of sense, since they're trying to save time and like cut a lot of the filler stuff. So I think for that one it makes sense.
It does.
But then there are some some stuff that I really didn't like. I guess we'll come to that. But there's some stuff that I think it was a bit subpar, I think, based on the way they displayed it.
Agreed. Because in like Sanji's goodbye didn't feel earned for me at all. Like there are some scenes that are going to be coming that are like, but you've only seen these two, so we'll be able to go into a little bit more detail with those, and then I'll do a quick synopsis of the rest, because we're already a quarter into the stream. Thanks to those two that are watching the stream. It really helps us out. Be sure to like the stream. So, we get into Shellstown. Luffy and Kobe are at the naval base. Okay, Luffy meets Zoro. Zoro kicks butt, but Helmeppo really stole the show. Really stole the scene, at least for me. Like, he was a prick in the manga. He was made worse in the anime. This is, like, I would say one of the better versions of Helmeppo. Like, this is a really good character, because I do not like him at all. When Zoro busts in on literally him playing with his sword, naked, playing with his sword, like, it's just, the metaphor is just insane. But you can actually think about that character and be like, he is the type of person who would literally play with a sword naked in front of a mirror. Like, the metaphor of it being a dick reference is insane. Like, it's insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was, because like I have forgotten entirely like the first part, a lot of the first part of the anime. So now they're talking about it. That is a good character development for Helmeppo, for him to start like that and then to end up with as Kobe's friend and like a captain now, right?
I'm not really sure of his, and I don't want to click on too much just because I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't. Here's the thing about the live action, which I am very, very happy about. Complete people who had never touched the series are touching it now, and I don't want them to be like, wait, Helmeppo goes how far? So I don't want to say that much, but he goes pretty, like, he becomes at least a captain. Like, he goes further than, and I don't want to spoil that, but he's at least a captain. Like,
yeah,
he goes far. Like, I don't want to spoil it again, because like, what person watches it? It's amazing for me that people are watching these episodes and being like, you know what? I feel like this is worth me just jiving in and watching and reading the manga. Some people are honestly going to be like, oh, I can wait for season 2. But there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say, like, I'm going to start reading One Piece. I am so grateful for that. Like, it's rejuvenated a new era. It started the great pirate era. It really did.
Yeah.
For lack of a better phrase.
Like the anime. It's just like the anime. You know, it was the anime that moved me into the manga. I had caught up with the anime. I was like, I don't want to wait for the next episode. Let me just read what is happening in the manga.
It's been a crazy, amazing ride being a One Piece fan. This last month has really been amazing. So in a lot of this, we get Zoro beating up a lot of Navy men, Kobe being able to finally start to get, and I really appreciate this with Garp being introduced. Kobe finally starting to be like, Navy is up here and they can't be touched and they can't be tarnished. And he's really starting to see that it's like gray and it's how you determine justice and what makes justice. Like I really appreciated that. So that was a little nice touch of storytelling. Kobe really being able to see, oh, the Navy's not really all that good. All right. Zoro then being able to go into the yard. After turning down a recruitment to join the Marines, Captain Morgan,
but then I guess
recruited him. Like, not like he killed the wolf and all of that stuff from the manga. Morgan recruited Zoro's been recruited by 2 organizations at this point. That's how much he's been built up. Yeah. Killed a dude. Killed the organization that last recruited him before Luffy was interested in him because he brought a corpse in and sat it in the middle of the frickin' bar. That was he brought in a frickin' corpse. They kill people in this.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Did he kill Mr. Seven in the anime or in the manga?
We don't know.
Actually,
we just know that he fought. We just know that the invitation was given and Mr. Seven never made it back.
Because here they actually showed him slicing him into 2.
It showed him bringing his dead body in. Sorry, a bag with the dude's hair sticking out of the top, so you knew it was his corpse. It's just like, is there not a smell?
There's not even blood.
In a lot of this, let's see here. Luffy and Nami meets. Luffy catches Nami sneaking through. They're both trying to get to the map. Captain Morgan catches them. She flows on his ego, gets past them. So Emily Rudd did a really good job. Like in this section, with Nami, yeah. In this section especially, when you see, and a lot of people are like, oh, she's being like this really mean and rigid person. Yeah, because everything they showed in the trailers was her reaction to like not wanting to like Luffy. Like this is the part where she's just like, I want to use this dude. By episode like 4 is when she's really like, you are my friend. What's happening here? Like, and it'll be a little bit of a spoiler later, but like she gets invested in these guys. And you can very much tell more than what you could in the manga and the anime. So I very much enjoy the noticeable change in Nami's character development. And I very much appreciate it. So
yeah, and I guess that was what Nami actually was. Probably, maybe apart from the like fake cheerfulness at that time in the anime, but like that is actually what Nami was.
Exactly. So we see that, and we see like the little cracks forming. And as we end, I want to say 2 things are the most important aspect about how this ends. Yes, these 2 things have to do with Garp, but it's not about just Garp. It's about the fact that we get Bogart. The most engagement we've ever seen of Bogart. Ever. Ever.
Yeah. And we even get to see his face, like...
Yeah, it's not just his eye, it's not just this.
Yeah. We get to see his face.
Oh, man. So, not only we get that... Go ahead.
Yeah, now I'm thinking, are we gonna get some action from Bogart?
We did. Oh, I'm sorry. We do. You will. You'll enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride, my friend. Oh. So, also, the most important thing, the frickin' Din Din Mushi. I did not realize how much I wanted to see a Din Din Mushi in real life. That thing blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
The fact that it was a Garp Dindin Mushi, y'all.
And it seemed like, it seemed like the Mushi. It seems like each one for this one, it has its own ringtone, depending on who's the owner.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So since we're not,
That's wild.
That's the thing. We're not getting the ki she laugh, but we are getting customizable Dindin Mushi ringtones.
Yeah, we're not getting the like cheerful gap, because this gap is way more serious. I was surprised at how serious this one is compared to the anime.
Fair, but I was talking more about, you know how Moria has a weird laugh, Blackbeard has a weird laugh. Everyone has this like ze ha ha ki shi. We're not gonna get that per se. I don't think we're gonna get that of those laughs, but I think that's gonna be put more into the Dindin Mushi rings. That's what I meant.
Yeah. But please don't take it from Dosi. That is literally Dosi's personality. Don't take that laugh from Dosi.
Oh no, man. We'll
Just
see.
Like they didn't take Buggy's clown stuff. They shouldn't take that laugh from Dosi.
That's the perfect segue, my dude, because Buggy D Clown has taken over the frickin' internet, and it is amazing. The fact that the live action Buggy hit so hard that I watched it. I got to this part Thursday night. So I started Thursday and I got to Buggy in episode 2. And I had seen him like hanging out, but his introduction, one, again, we referenced how they engage with their wanted poster. He just boop snatches it out and is just like, "Sup, y'all? How's it going?" I'm just like, this dude is amazing. His fight when he's just like, I can't remember what he said, is like, just see what I can do. It was amazing, absolutely amazing, and by far, him being the most terrifying line, and him being like the quintessential like villain is like, I didn't take everything from them. I let them keep their hands, and he forces them to applaud. It was just like, that was the most gruesome, brutal thing I've seen in TV, because that was just like, wow. Oh, I didn't. What are you talking about? I didn't take everything from him. They can still clap. And he just, oh gosh. What are your thoughts?
Like with the sign guy, the lion, like he would turn the laugh, clap. I was like, wow.
That it's so dark, and I love it. Like, the entire episode happened under the tent. We saw Nami run out to be able to see how bad Shellstown was actually, or Orangetown was actually damaged. But I think having everyone in the town captured and strung up like that, I think was a really good way of just showing how grim this world. It was a really good way of world building how gruesome this Oda's world is, because like we know of even more gruesome stuff to quote unquote come in the mainline story. All of us manga only that are superior than everyone else, granted, but at the same time, where does this go?
Yeah, and I think it's a good first introduction for Buggy as a pirate, because us that read the manga and even those that watch the anime, like we've forgotten that Buggy is an actual pirate, and how and how cruel he might be. We just see Buggy as this joke.
Now we do. Granted, when we first started, he was just like Buggy, and then it became Buggy, and now it's like Buggy senpai. Like, it's now I'm afraid of him. Like, I'm actually afraid of him.
So it's kind of like a reminder to us of who Buggy actually is.
It is a huge reminder of who Buggy is, but at the same time, his introduction. Oh, this is blah blah blah, and he kicks the thing, and he starts, gets all angry. It showed the goofiness within the dark, which is tantamount also again to store Oda's just writing. But Bowen Sellers, thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Welcome, welcome. If you have any thoughts on the live action, we're just talking about episode 2 right now. Just a little bit of a warning, there's going to be some spoilers as we talk about it, but if you want to leave your thoughts, maybe what your ranking was, we'll definitely want to jump on those thoughts. So, nice. But, again, getting back to the topic at hand, Buggy being amazing, it really felt like he really felt angry at Shanks. We know why, like why. He tells us why. We know why. But like this is like, I think he's like saying exactly why he's upset. Like,
yeah,
he held me back. He let me down.
And he genuinely thinks that.
Yes. Genuinely. But in this regards, any thoughts about the small changes? Well, again, it's very confined. Got the chop fruit. Trying to think. We did have Luffy's backflash during this. A little bit of understanding on what's happening. We did have the first showing of Haki. Conquers Haki. Shanks scares away the king of the coast, or Lord of the Coast, and we see the
that
arm
is something that I also that is one of the things that I was thinking about. Like, it seemed subpar to me. Like, it didn't show this atmosphere or this like feeling of like this is a terrifying look. You know, in the anime, there's like this like it's like a wave that you see that bounces off his eyes, and then you see the reaction from the Sea King. I don't think they did a good job of really portraying that in this live action.
Well, you also have the how did he get out there? Because he ended up on the boat. Whereas you have the boat gone, and you see like Shanks just in the water swimming, where he just lands. He just ends up on the boat. Did he take another boat? Did he jump out there? Like, are we now foreshadowing like his abilities to jump very far? Like, it was just kind of abrupt that he was out there, not necessarily in the water holding on to Luffy. He more pulled him up out of the water, arm off. Take a hike.
No, I think probably he swam to the boat, and then maybe after he jumped on the boat, he saved Luffy. But then, if you notice, like, it was after he was on the boat that the Sea King, actually here in the live action, that the Sea King attacked him, and he was trying to cover up Luffy. That was when the Sea King took out his arm. He was on the boat.
Yeah.
But while in the manga and the anime, he jumped in front of the Sea King before he could reach Luffy, and then he like moved out of the way with Luffy, and then his arm was gone.
That's right.
That is one of the differences.
That is right, because he was because in this he's protecting Luffy, and that one he was more like pushing Luffy out of the way. Okay, yeah. That's fair. That's very fair. So little changes, not the craziest, but just little ones.
Yeah, and also the Sea King didn't come out and like until after he has eaten this guy, the bandit. I've forgotten his name. So he ate him he grabbed him from under the water instead of like coming out and then attacking him from the top.
Yeah, just let your roommate know that the internet saw his undies.
Yeah, he knows that. I told him.
Okay, as long as he knows.
The whole internet is watching you. I say it doesn't care.
Okay. That threw me off. I was just like, wait, what just happened? So Luffy remembers last time he saw Shanks. Let's see here. Oh, I do like how they did parallel Luffy's backstory. However, they did push Luffy's backstory being whittled in so far out that when they introduce when they introduce Zoro's backstory, it is a little jarring. Did you notice that? Oh no, you're not there yet. So you will see that.
I haven't reached it yet. Yeah.
You'll see that. So when you get Zoro's backstory, it's going to be very intertwined with Usopp's, and it's going to be very. It's going to take it out a little bit. So in this, as we wrap up.
Also, I didn't like the way, like what the bandit, the way he spilled the drink on Shanks, and then it wasn't really a spill. Like he didn't even touch him. You didn't hit him.
Oh yeah, he just threw everything on the ground.
It. Yeah, he just broke it and threw everything on the ground, and then Shanks was collected them up. I liked it more in the manga and the anime, the way he did it.
Very fair. Even though we got to see Yasopp and Lucky Roo and Ben Beckman. Ben Beckman looks the worst out of all of them. I think Lucky Roo looks the best.
Lucky Roo threw me off.
Did he?
Lucky Roo being black threw me off entirely.
Oh, I knew the castings, and I was already hyped for it.
That was one of the big surprises for me. I was like, wait, Lucky Roo black? Yes, understandable, but Lucky Roo, I didn't expect it.
I was rocking with it. Ben Beckman, he was okay. Not the best, but So, what were any final thoughts from this episode overall? We'll go for another 23 minutes to go up to the hour, and that gives us enough time to cover in brief the next 6, just so I'm not like going through everything.
All right. I don't think there's much of anything that I've dissected in this one. Yeah, we can move on to the next one.
All right, because the next one is when we get to Shellstown, and it is lovely named Tell No Tales. So those of you who have good eyes will be the first to notice that there is no nose on the Usopp character's flag. The nose has been reduced officially. So this is when Luffy, Zoro, Nami land in Surf Village, where they meet Usopp, a local who has introduced them to Kaya, a Sipley shipyard heiress, who is taken care of by her overbearing house staff with the help of Kobe and Vice Admiral Garp. A marine sets off in search of Luffy. So in this episode, they show up and Luffy's like, we gotta get a ship, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And Nami's like, alright, we gotta pick one that we can take easily. And Luffy's like, we can't steal a ship. And she's like, you're broke. How are you going to get this? You are broke. Like, what do you expect? Someone's just gonna give it to you? He's like, oh, yeah, I guarantee it someone's gonna give it to you. I was like, oh god, this dude. And this is one of the things where I'm like, oh, Luffy, blah, blah. Get to see...
Classic Luffy.
Yep, he sees Mary, falls in love. Usopp's on Mary, working on her and cleaning her up. Takes them to see Kaya, where it is quickly found out that he is not to just be anywhere close to her at all. The pirates of Kuro's crew, and this is where we get into the spoilers, Segrain, so I'm sorry. I liked the fact that the Black Cat Pirates were the house staff in everything. So Kaya's house staff that work with Kuro are all the Black Cat Pirates. Or the two Black Cat Pirates, the big one and the little skinny one. The little skinny one was turned into a girl because woke. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I just had to. I really had to. But they're both. It makes sense for them to be working in the house for all of that to be going down. And then what else is there? I want to say that was one of the bigger changes. Obviously, everything's very shortened down as far as like how big the story gets and how much they go into. For instance, the Usopp pirates aren't a thing. The little kids that are running around with Usopp, carrot, onion, and I don't know, bagel, possibly. I don't know their name. Yeah, they're not in it. So, and Django is also no longer in it as well. That was the big hit. No Django. But in that, you have Zoro actually knowing Kuro, and then them throwing him into a... Kuro did not make sense because they, in order to take out Zoro, they don't kill him. They just throw him into a ditch. And you're like, Wayne, but they don't kill anyone in this arc. No, they kill someone in this arc. So I'm not going to tell you who either. But this people die. So very interested in see what future arcs look like. Because, yeah, individuals getting got. And this overall ends. I'm going to check the time. Yeah, we got 20 minutes for the next few episodes. This also sees Garp going to getting Kobe and Helmeppo and his crew, and then he's starting to get to know Kobe a little bit more. Him and Bogard, this is where you are at. Bogard play good cop, bad cop, figure out who Kobe is, his background, finds out that he knows Luffy, even asks him if he's loyal to Luffy, which is wild because you're just like, you're his grandfather. He has no idea that you're related to this dude, and you're just like, are you loyal to him? Are you loyal? And the Kobe's like, he's a pirate and Marines can do justice, and he's like, yeah. So overall,
but I like that response from Kobe. He didn't say he's not loyal, but he also didn't say he's loyal. So he's a pirate. What do you think of pirates? That depends on you.
That's fair. That's very fair. So I'm not gonna spoil anymore, just because a lot of it does go into the nuances of where it is now, because Garp is officially chasing Luffy. He is officially the Marine chasing Luffy throughout the entirety of the arc. There wasn't one to begin with, but there is now. So in the manga, I think Garp started chasing Luffy. Did he chase him in the beginning, or was it in Water 7? Water 7.
After Enies Lobby. Yeah, that is what I remembered. That was even his first introduction.
Mm-hmm. So in this, you will see clearly that Zoro is the face of the pirate flag. Oh, by the way, every episode there's a new pirate logo, which is Jolly Roger, which is awesome. So super cool. But the fact that we get Luffy's buggies, we get Usopp's Jolly Roger before we get Zoro and Nami's. Like that's what I mean by it's like very disjointed as far as the Straw Hats. Because we're very much in the second part of Syrup Village, but it feels like Zoro's arc, even though he wasn't, all he did was climb out of a well and we saw his background. So it's just like, this is where it really like dropped a point for me overall as storytelling. And I think that's a good enough like overview of everything. Luffy, Zoro, and Nami fight their way through Kaya's mansion, which has now become a prison. Usopp enlists the help of Kobe, Helmeppo, and the Marines, and Luffy finally gets the ship of his dream as Garp closes in. So, all very straightforward, understandably so. Any questions about, and this episode is called The Pirates Are Coming. Tale no tales, the pirates are coming. It all makes sense as far as understanding Usopp. But again, Zoro's Jolly Roger's the background. So, a little, in my point of view, disjointed.
Oh yeah, but I guess since they are not trying to follow the manga or the anime one to one, like with the chronology and stuff like that, I guess that is probably why they might have messed it up like that. They just shuffled it. But it is still interesting since Zoro is actually the first person to join the crew, the first mate. But then his Jolly Roger came in third or even fourth after Luffy's.
Well, again, and he's been here since the first episode, just very ingrained in how it's running.
Yeah.
But as you can see, for those watching at home, the episode 4 long review is literally like 4 paragraphs. It's very straightforward as far as Crow locks down the house. We have a fight against time of everyone trying to get out. And in that, this is where I also start to say that Usopp's character, while good in writing and what have you, it did not feel earned. He's invited onto the crew at the very end. Him and Kaya kiss. I just have to say that because I mostly want to say that because the internet is evil, because it has someone did a drawing of Usopp's nose actually keeping her from kissing him, and I'm like, that is the most savage thing I have ever seen, and that's amazing. It's so funny. But they get a little kisses. I feel like you could say that. But overall, this was really just him. They have all locked in the house. He didn't really do anything to earn the trust of the crew. There was no him fighting to the very limits to become a brave warrior of the sea. He got pushed, and this is also a big critique. I'm not wanting these characters to get brutalized, but the fights don't seem earned. The fights seem very realistic, but they don't seem earned. So Usopp didn't really feel like he earned that fight. He earned enough during that fight to really be invited on to be a Straw Hat. And that's really my big takeaway of this episode. As again, probably one of the better parts, Zoro's backstory being fleshed out, being able to see Kuina, understanding a little bit more, getting the sword, their fights back and understandings. Really good. Really straightforward.
Yeah, I also liked the way Luffy inspired Zoro to go more than just a pirate hunter. He was like, look, this was like a motivational speaker. What do you actually want? Is this what you want in your life? It's like, whoa, this words coming from Luffy is new.
It's all very, very, let's just say it's all very, very interesting. And in that regards, we got 12 minutes left, so we're doing good. We have the ending of episode 4, and halfway through the live action. Now, we have the little duck. That is, I think that's Baratie, because Sanji's is going to be, the next one. So
it seems like Garp caught up to them immediately after leaving the Syrup village.
Yeah. So remember when Full Body shoots a cannon at them and Luffy gets big and then bounces the cannonball back?
Uh-huh.
In this, we see Garp pissed off to the point where he grabs the cannon. When he did this, I was yelling, y'all, because he grabs the cannon and you see him just foot up and everything, just and Luffy just doesn't look good, but he did it, and then it knocks down their mast, and that's how they got away. Got into a mist, stopped at Baratie, and that is how they got away. And that's where it means the gang are tested in their ability to fight together on the high seas. It's against Garp throwing. Now,
classic Quarter 7 vibes.
That was amazing. When he picked up that cannon, he took it off. He was like, "Give me that cannonball." And I was like, yes. Oh, it was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. And Luffy and the gang are tested their ability to fight through the high seas as they arrive on the Baratie, a floating restaurant where they encounter Sanji, a young chef with a love for fine dining. A duel on the dock shocks the group. Alright. So here's where the big change happens. You're good for the spoilers, right, Tigran? Because it's your last chance.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Okay. So Don Krieg isn't the main threat to Baratie. In fact, Baratie is not threatened at all.
Oh,
let that settle. So at the very end, when Luffy blows up and bounces the cannonball back at Garp, he looks up and says, "Grandpa." And Nami, rightfully so, freaks the fuck out. In this, this starts bringing up a lot of like, hey, like, what's going on here? You should talk to him. Why aren't you telling us this stuff? Luffy, what are you hiding from us? Are you a Marine? All of this stuff. She even slips and was just like, I'm so close. And we're all like, okay. So as we go into the episode, as Garp's ship is marooned, he calls on a Shichibukai to go bounty hunting to find a pirate. The Shichibukai is Mihawk.
So Garp called Mihawk.
What's up?
So Garp called Mihawk.
Garp called Mihawk to take on and chase after Luffy. And Mihawk took the call while he is fighting Don Krieg's crew. Absolutely slaughtering the lot of them. So he's literally just like murdering people, and he's having a conversation to Garp, and he's like, hold on a second, and then he slashes the galleon in half. And then he's like, okay, send me the coordinates and I'll be after him. And it had a really iffy feeling in my mouth, because I'm like, when has Mihawk ever been told to do anything? He balances it out. Yeah. He balances it out. He was more just bored, and this piqued his interest. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, we get to see. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's also unlike Garp to call a Shichibukai to do something.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's really into the system of Shichibukai. So to say Garp called Mihawk to go after Luffy.
Yep.
Then I guess that is where the story really starts, like deviating more from the actual canon storyline.
Very fair. So, with that, and going on deviations, we have, since they are not a threat, we still get Gin. Gin shows up, but he's more of just depicting how terrifying the Grand Line is and what's to come. He's not this pivotal thing of bringing Don Krieg in and Don Krieg subsequently being tracked by Mihawk. No. It is, he's out on the seas, needs help, Sanji feeds him, Luffy is like really impressed by this, tells Zeph that Sanji was cooking for him, so Zeph bans him because that makes sense. That causes Sanji and Zeph to fight. That fight results in Sanji wanting to leave. So when I say that Sanji joining the Straw Hats does not feel earned, it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It does not feel earned. Zoro's felt earned.
Because it would seem like Sanji and Zeph, Sanji left on a bad terms with Zeph.
And again, they had their moment on the ship where he's like, I'll always miss you guys and thank you. But there was no like head bowing and old man Zaf and like thank you so much. It was just like, hey guys, you guys take care. See you later. Zeph was awesome in this. Barate looked really, really cool. Luffy getting in trouble for trying to pay with an IOU was hilarious. Overall, I'm not gonna say it was solid, but interesting. And then Mihawk arrives, starts looking after Zoro, starts looking after Luffy. Zoro's like, all right, let's fight, and he gets his ass whooped. The fight looks pretty cool. Not the best, but not the worst. The scar that he gets from Mihawk is pretty nuts. I will say that. And other than that,
did they show the iconic speech? Zero speech.
They did. It wasn't as good for me personally. And here's the thing with Baratie, because that was the second best speech in Baratie for me. The first best speech is when Zeph tells Zoro, keep an eye on Luffy, because there are not many people like him around. Someone who never stops, never hesitates, and always pushes forward. He says it outright. The guy reminds me of Goldie Roger. He just says it. But I wish that he would have had that line of, because this is where I was just like, this is something different. And I was 17 at the, oh god, that's wild. This is crazy. 2005. I was 17 at this point, and I'm like, this anime is different, because he's just like the fact that he pushes on without hesitating, and it's just like there are not many people out like that. So again, doesn't really feel earned. Luffy getting knocked into the water was by Arlong.
I guess I've seen it in the trailer, but
Arlong shows up at the Baratie, beats Luffy to a pulp. Instead of biting his neck, Nami just says, just throw him into the sea. And then he throws him into the sea. And they find him because they caught Buggy. Arlong caught and threatened Buggy. Those two engaged. That's amazing. That was one of the most amazing things of this. So, those two engaging in the blues was really, really fun. What else is there? Trying to think as far as the end of this episode. That was episode 5. 6, the chef and the chore boy. The group is ambushed and by a threat no one sees coming. That's Arlong. After a hard-fought battle on Baratie, Sanji finally follows his dreams, while another member shows their true colors. That's Nami, who quits. So the chef and the chore boy. So that's literally, I spoke of both. Let's see. And this is again where Arlong makes his appearance. I think Arlong is really cool. They did actually a really cool sequence when Arlong is approaching Baratie, and you see his fin come out of the water, like in Jaws, and then just like go up underneath, and like as he's approaching. And even I'm just like, oh, that's cool. That's smooth. That's real smooth. Yep, comes in, starts an assault on, forces himself into Baratie. That's where the fights start breaking down. Beats up Luffy. Nami's like, I've got the map. Spare his life. Throw him into the water. Let's go. So that's the episode 6. I did get into that, speaking a lot of everything, but I was rambling a little bit. But I think we're good to finish up with these last 2 episodes. Were there any questions about the chef and the chore boy and Irat Baratie, which again I squished together, but I would say Zeph was the best part.
They are not really as long as the other episodes, and as you said, like some stuff has been just cut off outright.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cut off, we do see the backstory of Sanji and Zeph eating his leg. So there's that.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks for saying cut off. I needed that one to remind me of that, because we did see Sanji's backstory. He was a chunky. They cast a little chunky Sanji, a little adorable. Okay. All their kids' characters were adorable. I could say that.
Yeah.
They all seem very lived in.
Luffy wasn't as goofy as in the anime. He looked a bit more serious.
Oh yeah. All the kids were adorable in my opinion though. And then you have now you see Nami's as episode 7, which is the girl with the sawfish tattoo. So we get Nami's backstory. As they all show up, the crew comes to the aid of a member in the dire family need. So we get her engagement with the town. Nojiko actor did good. Her tattoos look drawn on, and I'm just like, I need more of the tattoos, y'all. I need more of the tattoos. Get the backstory with Belmare. That was really wild. Saw all of that happen. Yeah, they did everything well. Nami's village was very quaint. Showed the talents. Got to see her and the village and all that engagement. Nothing too big. So, let's see here. We see. Let's see here. We see her stab the arm, and then the march on Arlong Park, which is where it goes into.
Did they show the stabbing of the arm?
Mm-hmm. You'll see the stabbing of the arm, so be prepared for that. They even have a good sound effect too. So even I was like, ah. So realizing Nami curses Allen's name, repeatedly stabbing the shoulder tattoo. And that's where Luffy arrives. So, straightforward episode. Nothing too big, nothing too small, but like
any deviations? Like since
the biggest, honestly, well, in the anime and manga, Nami's entire village knows that she's doing this for them. They don't in this.
Oh. Okay.
That's the biggest deviation. They actually hate her. That's the biggest deviation. Like Nojiko spits at her feet. Like it's one of those. Even I'm just like, whoa, that's a little harsh pretending. And then Nojiko's like, you let me hate you, and I'm like, they didn't know. That was the biggest deviation.
Nah.
Yeah. So in that, because I'm just like, wow, like they really hate her. They're really pretending to hate her. No, they really hated her. They really hated her. That takes us into the Straw Hats raid Arlong Park and defeat Arlong's crew. For taking down the pirate, Luffy is giving his first bounty, and the crew sails towards the Grand Line. Let's see here. This is hilarious. Drew, I just got a text from Drew. We were doing that later on tonight, right? Didn't you say 11? Sorry, bro.
You can join. You can still join. We have maybe 5 minutes to go.
Yep, Sunday stream at 8. Yep. I mean, another 5 minutes. Tilts the grain lays. Sorry. We gotta just let a buddy know.
Yeah.
We're a group, a troop, and one of our buddies just hit us up. And he might even be in the chat now that he's realizing that it's... we even sent an alert, too. Yep. Let's see here.
Is he here?
He's texting me right now, which is hilarious because as we start Worst in the East, there's two big things that I at least want to wrap up, and I've mentioned multiple times that a lot of things did not feel earned, and Luffy's fight with Arlong is the biggest one for me, because that took him to the extremes, and I don't think he really got hit once. Like, he got nicked and cut, and he got, like, knocked up against something, but it just did not feel like an earned fight. To the point where Luffy even was like, I can't hit you, but I'm gonna destroy the pillars. And it's like, Arlong is like, no, stop! No, stop! And so, like, Luffy takes him out that way, and I'm like, this is so unearned. So...
Did they show the battle axe attack?
Battle axe attack came without Arlong even touching Luffy. Which, I'm sorry, it was literally Luffy's about to get eaten in half, battle axe. Like, that's how close that was. Because if it had been a second later, Arlong would have snapped him in half. Those were the stakes. And you had Luffy get knocked up against something, say ow, and I honestly think that's the most damage that he took. So for me personally, it's like, this was not earned at all. Just wasn't.
Maybe...
Go ahead.
Let me play a bit of a devil's advocate for them. Maybe they didn't want to make it so unrealistic, like Luffy getting beaten up, that it is unrealistic for him to even get up in the live action.
We're fighting fishmen. I think we're good about unrealism.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there.
So yeah, there's that. And then it ends with Garp showing up, beating the living piss out of Luffy, only to say, I was just testing you. And that pissed me off. It's just like, it was a training arc? That was it? That's all this was? Just training arc. That's it, huh? Okay. Alright. Okay. So, that didn't leave me as hollow as the Sanji and the Luffy fight versus Arlong, but that was my third biggest complaint. Everything, I firmly give this a 7 out of 7, 7 out of 10. As far as if I were to give a grade to the overall series, it's it was at a 7.5, flirting with an 8 until the whole Garp thing at the very end. I'm not sure how I would have liked that to end. So don't get me wrong, but it was very anticlimactic for Garp to show up, beat the living snot out of Luffy, and just be like, oh, okay, so you're not going to give up. I guess you're ready to go for the Grand Line. It's like, what? That was it? So, that 7 out of 10. However, hands down the best anime adaptation I have ever seen, period. I am overwhelmed emotionally that the good anime adaptation is One Piece. I am emotionally overwhelmed that I'm still it's still like really hitting me that it's One Piece that quote unquote broke the curse, but it's still really like surreal for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there was even like literally there was an emotional part for me when Shanks gave Luffy the hat. It just there's this emotion that came up to me. Like I remembered, there was a One Piece opening after Ace's death that showed like Shanks giving Luffy the hat, a very emotional part of the opening. So like that was a feeling that rush of emotion that got back to me at that particular time. I was like, oh my god, this rings a bell a lot.
It's wild. They did great. They did not overexert the crazy cartoonishness. Like, yes, we don't get Usopp's long nose. That should have just stayed in anime and manga. We didn't get Sanji's curly eyebrows. Should have just stayed in anime and manga. There are things that we did not get that to the medium of Zoro yelling out his attack moves doesn't happen. It doesn't need to happen. He has a sword in his mouth. The fact that we get a sword in mouth, we're good.
Yeah, and they also seem to be using like what do you call this again? Visual illusion or something like that. When using Luffy's ability to make the CGI more realistic.
And that's
so
the
if
thing.
You notice, like,
no, go ahead.
When they're showing, when Luffy almost every time he stretches his arm, they will show it from a perspective whereby you won't really see the CGI. You'll just see maybe the end of the arm or from Luffy's side.
And it's not they don't leave it. They don't linger long enough for it to be like off-putting. It's like woof, woof. It is like boom, boom. So it's very quick in that context. Very, very quick.
Yeah, optical illusion. That was the word. That was fine.
So, and again, I am proud
to be a One Piece fan.
Oh, it's so amazing. We've been eating good the last year. The last year, calendar year as a One Piece fan has been one of the best years of my life, period. And it's just, my fandom is officially 18 years old this year, and it could never be, for it to be still peaking is again a feeling that I could not describe at all. It's an amazing feeling.
It's surreal.
It's surreal. Thank you.
Yeah.
And with that, we hopefully will get a season 2. Guessing that's going to be more of the 8 episodes. I have no clue in heck how they're going to do it, because it's more than likely Arabasta. So they're probably going to get like
Loketown, right? I saw here in the final episode, instead of showing Luffy's bounty in Loketown, it showed at the end of the Arlong Park.
Okay, this is one of the best. I'm down for this change. Luffy gets his bounty from Kobe. Kobe walks up and hands him his bounty poster, which is an amazing reflection, because in the first episode they were looking at the wanted posters and Luffy's like, where's my name? For Kobe to be the one who gives it to him, that was good. That was good writing. That was really good writing. And they hug, and it was just like, oh, my heart hurt. It just felt really good. It was just a really good moment. And that's how it ended.
There's no Luffy punching Kobe in order for him to convince the Marines to take him. That one also was gone.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, I guess overall it's it's still very good.
Oh yeah.
Because at this point there's no bar anymore for it.
Well, here's the thing. This is now the bar.
Yeah. Now One Piece is the bar.
Oh god. You have no idea how just liberating it is to feel. Just One Piece is the bar for life. Okay, that one almost got me tearing up. One Piece is the bar for live action. And it's yeah. So thank you all for stopping by and watching this back. I really hope that we can get Samurai Drew's thoughts. He is very, very sorry, y'all. I have his text right now. For some reason, he thought 11, and I'm like, maybe next week when the chapters come out. So when we try and figure all this out, but yeah, go ahead.
I guess when I'm done, we can still cover it in more details during the break weeks.
We can cover. Well, we need your thoughts on all of it, because you heard me and I saw you just be like, oh, I don't know about this. And again, I didn't mention a lot of stuff, so you're gonna come back and have a completely different engagement and understanding of or thought process on some things that I was just like, eh. And then we have Samurai Drew, who is just a wild card. That's why we all work as well as a team. So thank you all for watching and hanging out. It looks like not this next Monday is probably going to be when we get to the next chapter. Every once in a while, One Piece goes to Mondays for a few weeks, so we'll see how that goes. But we will play it by ear. I am the DarkBriton. This is Segrain, my Nakama, and I always thank you for joining me, Segrain. And for everyone, especially Bowen Sellers, who's in the chat, and everyone watching this back, thank you. Nakama, and welcome to the community. And always remember that anime is adulting.
Is adulting.
Peace.